If you would have told me as a teenager that I was going to be a full-time artist, I would have laughed at you. And it has been an amazing journey how I got here because I never expected to be an artist, much less a professional artist, a professional working artist from home. I'm living the dream and it's crazy how I got here. So I want to share that with you today. And I couldn't do it without all of you. So thank you for giving me my dreams because I couldn't do it without YouTube and Patreon and all of you who support me. So let's start out with me as a little girl. What did that little girl dream of? She actually dreamed of having a big house, but not the kind of big house that you would imagine. I wanted to have a big house so I could take in a lot of homeless people. I always wanted to help people, and that is such a passion in me. But I also had another dream. I wanted to have a family. I didn't want a big career. I wanted a simple life with a child, and I wanted to help people. That is who I think I am at my core because that is who I was as a girl. Definitely didn't think anything about being an artist, that's for sure. But I always loved to paint and draw. So there's kind of three paths here, and I went down each path in a very different way, but all those paths converged at the end to me being an artist. So how did that happen? Let's talk about one of the paths, me wanting a family. That was a crazy journey because I didn't find my now husband till I was 40. And it caused me so much heartache, especially in my 30s when I came to realize I might not ever have a family. And it gives me a lump in my throat even now, those feelings of thinking, I will never have a child. It just broke my heart. And so when I started realizing I might not have a family of my own, I said, okay, well, I'll have a selfish life. I'll travel a lot. I'd fallen in love with travel. I also decided I better get myself to school and get a real career so I can take care of myself, not have a family, and just, have a different life than I envisioned. But it is very fulfilling to me to help people. So I got a master's degree in social work and I became a school social worker, and I had an amazing career as a school social worker, helping kids and their families navigate the very complicated, often very frustrating school system. And so that was amazing. But in the meantime, I had another path, which was art. I loved art. And while I was getting my master's, in fact, I was kind of pursuing art online. I started posting my paintings on well, let me back up. So I started out as an artist, not as an artist, but as a used car salesman because I was trying to figure out how to make a little extra money. So I was like, well, let me look in the newspapers and see if anyone has been selling a car and it's been in the newspaper for several weeks and maybe they need help selling their car, and I'll put it on eBay. And so I did that, and I would charge like a flat $100 fee for that. And it ended up being a lot of work. I sold Rolexes, I sold used cars on eBay, and I helped people put their things on eBay. I was thinking, well, what else can I put on eBay? Maybe I could paint something for eBay and see if it'll sell. And so I did a little painting just for eBay, and there weren't a lot of artists. So I did a painting just for eBay. Here it is. I put it on eBay, and back then it was only bidding available. So it got bid up by not one, not two, but several people. And it was so exciting. It was so exciting. I was like, what? People are willing to pay for my art? This is crazy. So I started painting and everything sold. And then I was like, well, I wonder if people would buy my prints. I made prints of my paintings. I was like, no one is going to pay me for a print of my painting. Those would get bid up sometimes more than the originals had. Like I would regularly sell a print for $60. It was mind blowing. This was 20 years ago. It was crazy. And it was so exciting. And so I pursued art, and it has taken me to some amazing places. I've met people all over the world. I've got a video, I'll link it here, of some of the people that I met online and I traveled with. I made friends all over the world. It was just crazy. That's a whole nother story though. But it is part of the story that weaves back into today. Let's follow the thread of me wanting a family a little bit more, hopefully without me bawling. I almost did just earlier. So I also always wanted family. And so I dated a lot of different guys. And in particular, one promised me a family. He said he wanted those things, and then he would get cold feet and he had a lot of his own issues, and he would promise that and then never follow through on it. It's the classic story of, oh yeah, we're going to get married, and then the proposal never comes. It almost came several times, but that got strung on for 6 years. And then I found myself in my 40, like approaching 40, without a family. And I just decided, you know what? I'm not going to have a family. It's fine. I'm going to travel. By then, I had fallen in love with travel. With all the money that I made with my art in those years, had some amazing sales and amazing months where I made more money with my art than my master's degree in social work. It was crazy. So I was able to travel, and I loved it. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to travel, and I'm going to live kind of a selfish life, and it's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life. So I decided I was going to do that. And then my friend was like, you know what? I want you to meet somebody. I have someone I want you to meet. I'm like, whatever. I didn't even want to date. I didn't want to talk to any guys. I wanted nothing to do with guys or any of that, because it was all just a big disappointment, and it really upset me if I really thought about it. And so I was like, okay, sure. I will put on a good face and I will meet him. So I went to this little New Year's Eve get together, very simple, and I met Drew. And Drew almost right away was like, I got plans for you. And he was insinuating, family and all that. I was like, doubt it. I don't believe you, but I kept my mouth shut because I knew, let's just see how this unfolds. Not going to unfold anything, but we'll see. So I went with the flow of that, and Drew ended up being one of the most amazing people I've ever met. Here I go again. He's so amazing, and everything he promises, he follows through with. Who does that? Apparently not many people. And I was just like, I just went on that ride with him, and I'm so glad now I did, because he's an amazing husband and he's an amazing father. We had a child, we had Parker.
Who says mew mew? The cat goes meow. Yes.
Where's Parker? There's Parker. Walk to Mama. Ooh, good job, puppy.
And Drew was a great provider. He was so generous to be there for me. I told him, if I'm going to have a child in my 40s, I'm not going to work full time and have a child. I'm not going to do it. I don't have the energy. I'm 40. I'm a 40-year-old mom. I'm not going to have a child and have a full-time job. And so he was so supportive of that. So I took the opportunity to be able to work from home and really pursue my art and pursue this YouTube channel and pursue Patreon and have the flexibility to be home, but also to have a career. And it's just so amazing that I have this art career. I've got my Patreon is in a place now where it can pay the bills if I needed it to. And I could even, if I really pushed my originals and the things I paint, I don't push that anymore. They are for sale on my Etsy shop if you want to go support me even more, which would be amazing. I have prints and originals for sale, so that helps. And then I have my Patreon, and now I'm a full-time artist, literally living my dream. I'm able to have my own schedule. I don't go into a 9-to-5 job. I have my own schedule, and it ends up being more work. Like when I started my YouTube channel, I would be up at 4:30 in the morning when the house was quiet doing voiceovers and making it happen and making it work. And that's how I became a full-time artist on YouTube, where I am today. Thank you again and again for those of you who like my videos, watch my videos. That's, by the way, if you really want to support me, the YouTube algorithm loves more than anything if you go watch all my videos. So thank you. And I will close there. That's how it all came to be. And I hope I inspire some of you to think bigger about your life and think about the possibilities, because anything is possible if you're willing to work really hard. I've worked very hard, and it takes a lot of time and effort to make these videos, but it's all been worth it. So thank you so much. That's it. Now go watercolor your world. Bye, everybody.